Hello, my name is André Vellino. I'm a professor of information studies at the University of Ottawa and also a mindfulness meditation teacher, co-founder of the Academy for Mindfulness and Contemplative Studies, also at the University of Ottawa. I have spent a significant part of my career in the tech industry. I once worked for Nortel Networks as a software developer and also with a security company Entrust. And I was involved with a small tech startup company. All this to say, I'm intimately familiar with the kind of work that many of you do. I've been practicing meditation for over 30 years now and actively teaching people how to do it for the past 15 years or so, both for faculty and for students and to the general public. Today I'm going to begin with a very short introduction to what mindfulness meditation is and what it is not, and I will give some basic instructions on mindfulness of breathing, and my friend and colleague Kimberly Sogge will follow up tomorrow with a complementary guided meditation that focuses on cultivating kindness and compassion for yourself. I see these two practices as entirely complementary, and they reinforce one another. The first thing I want to say is what mindfulness meditation is not. Sometimes meditation is used as a way of tuning out and blanking out. This cartoon nicely illustrates what I think mindfulness meditation is not. For one thing, it's not about sitting cross-legged. Mindfulness meditation can take place in any posture. Sitting, lying down, walking, standing. You can cross your legs and look like a meditator, but in fact you're completely absent, daydreaming about being in Hawaii and not attentive at all to what is going on here and now. But also, meditation isn't about redirecting everything to dev null. There's nothing wrong with that. Changing the channel from something that is stressful or difficult to something that is peaceful and easy to do is often just what you need. And indeed, paying concentrated attention to your body breathing can serve that purpose as well. In most activities in life, we do something to get a result. You train your aerobic fitness so that you can race in a marathon. You learn the Eclipse IDE in order to make your coding more efficient. You're trying to achieve a result. I prefer to look at mindfulness meditation as an end in itself. It's often true that mindfulness meditation yields greater calm, reduces stress, leads to a greater ability to focus, greater creativity, and so on. And there have been lots and lots and lots of published research studies to demonstrate that effect. I prefer to look at it as a way of cultivating intimacy with oneself, to be present with yourself, to take stock of what's going on, and to take care of oneself by paying attention. The very first step is to stop doing, to stop achieving, to stop distractions, to stop running, and simply to just be and learn to observe what is going on right now in your mind and in your body. One image that I found useful is that our minds are a bit like a puppy retriever that is just running after every bone that is thrown at them. The idea for a coding project may pop up into your mind, and instantly you start thinking about the tools you might use, about what libraries may be needed, what platform you might use, the testing rigs for it, and so on. Of course, this is your profession. This is what you do for a living, and your mind has this habit. A bone comes up, and you run after it. So the idea with mindfulness meditation is more like developing a tiger mind, the capacity to watch and observe the bones that come up, and not run after them and not get caught by them. Most importantly, to notice when you have gotten caught by them. This happens. You will, invariably with meditation practice, get caught up in your ideas or plans or fantasies or memories. The idea is to notice that that's what's happened to you and to be aware that you've been caught. One definition of meditation that I like is this one. The ability to sustain a calm and concentrated awareness of the phenomena in the mind and body, such as they are in the present moment. So this is what we're trying to cultivate, an awareness of what is going on in the present moment in one's body and mind. It's really simple, actually. There's nothing to it except that it's really hard to do. It's simple, but it's hard, a bit like the game of Go. The game of Go is very simple, the rules are very simple, but playing it well requires a lot of practice and skill. So let's do a 10-15 minute guided meditation exercise, and then after that I will entertain some questions live. This is a recording, and happy to answer questions. So the first step is to turn off everything that beeps or is going to interrupt you. You're taking a mini holiday from Facebook, from cell phones, from Instagram, from the New York Times, The Guardian, email notifications. The first step is to unplug from all of that and give yourself a break. The next thing is to find a posture that is comfortable for you. So you want to be comfortable. Sitting on a chair is good, but if you've been sitting on a chair for a long time already, pick another posture, like standing or lying down. Those two work well. The basic criterion is to be both relaxed and at ease, but also alert. If you're too relaxed, you may fall asleep, and if you're too alert, you may get tense. So you want to be at ease in your body and stable so that you can pay attention and cultivate an alertness to what is going on here and now. If you're sitting in a chair, don't lean back and just kind of like allow yourself to be too relaxed. Try to position your buttocks on your chair so that your spine is straight and you have this kind of posture of alertness. You're kind of really paying attention. So right now I'm sitting on a chair that has a backrest, and I've been comfortably holding up my back with it, but I'm just going to illustrate that this posture for meditation that allows your back to be straight and upright, but also not too relaxed so that you may feel tempted to fall asleep. Personally, I like to close my eyes when I meditate, but it's also possible for you to have them half open to let in some light and increase your alertness level. But if you open your eyes, don't let them wander and distract you. Keep them focused on one object. So I don't do this very often, but if you half close your eyes, let your eyes focus on one object directly in front of you, not get distracted by visual experiences that are may draw you out of the practice of meditation. So your eyes are closed or half open, your spine is upright, and the first object of meditation that I like to use is the sounds that are coming to you, the ambient sounds wherever you happen to be. So they could be nature sounds like birds, or in my apartment right now I can hear the refrigerator making a sound. Like you're just bringing attention to what these sounds are like, how they manifest in your consciousness, what they feel like in your awareness of sound. Not rejecting them, not hanging on to them, but just like observing them as they come to you. Not even trying to identify them as, refrigerator sounds or street sounds. We're just kind of like looking attentively at their experiential qualities, like pitch or volume or timbre. And so this attitude of listening is what we're trying to cultivate here, just kind of like paying attention to what is going on in your auditory experience right here, right now. This is what these sounds are like. No interruptions, nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, just to watch. Tiger mind, watching, observing, noticing. So we've done that for a minute or so. The next step is to turn your attention. So it's the same attention, it's just now a different object. So instead of listening, we're taking the same receptive, welcoming, observing kind of attitude and turning it towards the body. So we'll do a kind of brief check-in on the body posture, starting with noticing how your feet are, perhaps also your buttocks, your spine, and your hands. Hands are like these very important instruments that many of us use to type on keyboards. We're giving our hands a rest too, taking care of them. So notice what they're touching. They may be touching each other or touching your thighs. Cold, hot. Not labeling, but more just kind of like noticing how the body feels. Now that you have a sort of sense of your body posture, let's turn now to where it is in your body that you notice breathing most clearly. So that's going to differ from one person to the next. Many people notice the breath at the abdomen, the rising and falling of the abdomen. Other people notice it at the chest, the rising and falling of the chest. And I was taught at the beginning to focus my attention on my nostrils, the sensation of the air going in and out of my nostrils. But everybody is different, so it's not an absolute, and it doesn't really matter that much what you choose. The important thing is to pick a spot and stay there. So you're noticing your belly rising and falling. You're not trying to make the breath in any particular way. You're not trying to achieve something. You're just watching with tiger mind how your body is breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Just allowing the body to do its own thing. It's doing its own thing most of the day anyway. Breathing in, breathing out. The only difference between what's going on the rest of the day and right now is that you're really watching it, you're observing it, you're bringing this kind of caring, welcoming attention to your body breathing. It can help, but it's not necessary to put a little label on the in-breath and the out-breath, just to help your mind a little bit to focus on the experience. But what you're really trying to do is notice how the body is experiencing the breath. Like, what is the breath feeling like right now? So this little label is there to help you attend, really. It's not, you're not trying to achieve anything, you're just trying to help your attention focus. Breathing in, breathing out. In breath, out breath. For many people at this point, especially people who've just begun the practice of meditation, it often happens that, thoughts will come up in the mind, these bones that we're tempted to run after. Things that you forgot to do, things that are on your to-do list, the future, the past. And it's like, of course these things need to be attended to at some point. But we're taking a break right now. It's like a little holiday for your heart and mind. So we're putting these things aside. And we're returning to our original intent, which is noticing the in-breath and the out-breath. We're cultivating this attitude of being fully present to one simple experience. In-breath, out-breath. Calm, alert, welcoming, receptive attention to what is going on right here and right now in your body. In-breath, out-breath. So now we're going to reverse the process. In terms of the object of attention, and go back to the listening of sounds. So again, it's the same receptive, welcoming, attentive, caring attention that you place on an experience. So the experience itself doesn't matter so much. It's like how you pay attention and the paying of attention in the present moment to that experience. So we're going back to listening. It could be that there's silence now. In my case, my refrigerator is turned off. So there's more silence. Just noticing what that silence feels like. or what the sound feels like. And now to both indicate the end of the meditation, but also as an object of meditation, I'm going to invite a bell to ring. So pay attention to the quality of the sound, the pitch, the timbre, volume. So now I invite you to change your posture. Maybe you stretch your legs or stretch your arms even. And see what that feels like. Hi, I had a question here from Martin, who said, as someone who has a hard time sitting still, turning off my mind, do you have an alternative mindfulness or calming activity other than meditating? So there are lots of things that you can do to help calm your mind. You know, yoga, listening to music, all kinds of things can really help calm your mind. And the purpose of practicing mindfulness meditation is in part to calm your mind, but mostly to develop the capacity to observe, to look, to notice, to become more aware. And that's what's being cultivated in mindfulness meditation. It's this capability to be fully present, which is a skill that isn't just kind of like to turn off your mind. In fact, turning off your mind is really not possible. Like, can any of us control our thoughts? Not really. So it's more like noticing that they're there and not hanging on to them, not letting them kind of get the better of you, really. Just watching them as objects, things that, like clouds that kind of float by. So that's the general idea. But it's very consistent with doing yoga, like body exercises. You can also do mindfulness of walking. So you can practice walking from one place to the next without going anywhere. Like you're just kind of like walking for the sake of walking, or doing the dishes for the sake of doing the dishes. And that's a practice of being fully present with what you're doing, one moment after the next. So I'd recommend that. How often do you do this? What prompts you to start mindfulness meditation session? Question from Christian. I recommend that you do this regularly. So it doesn't really matter, you know, how long you do it. It's you know, the longer the better, I think. But if you have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you have to figure it out for yourself what the best time of day is. For me, it's the first thing in the morning. Like you get up, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, and then you go and sit in a meditation posture. That's what I like to do. And then it becomes a sort of habit. So I recommend that you find a place in your living space where you dedicate it to practicing meditation on a regular basis. And it's really kind of like exercise. You know, if you're going to build muscles, you have to kind of do it every day. So that's the sort of idea with mindfulness meditation. It's like you'll find your mind kind of like going all over the place. My mind still goes all over the place, even though I've been doing this for years. But I know where to go back. I know how to pay attention to it. And I can realize, oh, yep, I've gone off. And I can realize that more and more often. So that's the idea, is to develop this sort of consistent practice. Martin is going to give yoga a shot. Kim, did you have something you wanted to say?
I just wanted to validate what you're noticing. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Um, and that is often we have to meet ourselves where we are. So a lot of us carry around a lot of tension in our body, and it can actually feel like it's increasing when we turn our attention inward or turn it towards practice. And I just want to say it's not the cause of the practice is not causing that, or it's not bad practice. It's just like the resolution on your awareness is increasing, and so you're coming into contact with something. And if that feels overwhelming and it's kinder not to hang out there too much, just start where you are. So walking and yoga or even running, but bringing that quality of attention to experience, I think, is an important place to start. And with repeated practice, the ability to stay with that often changes, you'll notice.
So if I can follow up with that, the ultimate kind of objective here is to investigate this kind of process of mind and body. It's like we're living miracles, like each and every one of us, right? I mean, these brains we have, and skin, eyes, breathing, like all these things are just like totally amazing. I mean, even thought, like putting a sentence together is like a really complicated business, as you know, let alone coding. So it's like, let's investigate this, let's study this, let's look at it, let's observe it, let's learn from it, let's listen to ourselves. This is the idea. So I recommend it. There's lots of resources online. I recommend meditations by Joseph Goldstein, if you can find them. There should be lots of them. There's a good podcast called 10% Happier that has lots of useful resources there. There's lots of stuff online. There are lots of apps as well. I'd recommend Headspace if you want to listen to pre-recorded meditations to help you get started. That's a good place to start. So we have just 1 minute or so. I don't know how many of you are out there, but thank you for listening in.
Great, thank you for your practice. And I'll be guiding tomorrow, and we'll be cultivating an attitude of friendliness or working with mindful self-compassion. So an attitude of not only awareness, but really emphasizing the loving, connected presence in awareness. And this can be really interesting. There was a question there, can you supply us with online links? Oh, for the resources André is mentioning?
Yeah, I can. I don't have them handy right now, but I can certainly pass them on to Karen. And I don't know if there's a sort of post-conference kind of blog or something. So yeah, no problem. You can put them into a swap card. Okay, we have to end now. Bye-bye. Enjoy your conference.
Okay.